Hello, fellow Stitchers. It's Cher Johnston. Welcome to my happy place. Today we're working on this crazy quilt seam treatments book that I'm making. Please visit my Facebook page and Ko-fi site. I'm going to have patterns for this and photos and all that when it's done. Well, maybe not when it's done, when I feel like it's more done. Please like, share, subscribe, all the stuff that helps the algorithm. So before we get into it too much, I've been working on this off camera. There's something that I wanted to share with you. My light. Okay. There's my needle that I'm using. I stitched together, look at this. There's little magnets. I thought that was so clever. There's little magnets there. So I can pull it apart and, spread it all out, or fold it up and the magnets are going to hold it together. I just have the first 2 pages magnetized though. So here's where we're at. I started a little frog there, but I was using this razzle thread, and I don't like it. So I'm going to take that out. And then I want to do this. See, it's going to go like this. And I decided that because the pages are all different sizes, I want to, let me see, I want to stagger them. So I'm looking at the edges. Now, if you're making a book, excuse me, let me have a little drink of my tea. It's very early in the morning here today. If you're making a book, you could make the pages the same size, and then it would be easy to fit them together. And I have a different idea for another book that we're going to do. And I started out with pages that are all the same size. But this one here, they're not all the same size. But I thought it might be clever to do a book that has like a waterfall effect like that. And I really like, why am I seeing shadows on my camera? I don't know. Anyways, I thought it would be clever to have like a waterfall effect and have seam treatments, stitching on each edge. Wouldn't that be cool? All right. So that's what I'm working on. And I'm going to have to, these pages are good. Then when you flip this page, they don't reach. So I think I'm going to add another panel there. And then on this one, I'm not there yet, but I do know I'm going to have to add another panel on the back. And I think we're going to work on this today after we do our froggy. So, burr, burr, burr. I think I want to put the frog here, like right about there where he might show. I might put one there, but I picked out, I have the hiccups again, picked out this color. Is that a frog color? Okay, I get hiccups and they hurt. They're really deep and they hurt. My granddaughter one day heard me hiccuping and she says, "Oh, You're the reason I get those hiccups like that. Anyways, I have this book and I'm going to do this little frog. So I'm going to put this book over here because see it tells you how many wraps to do. So, oh, there's a big one and a little one. Oh, okay. Let's do the little one. Okay. Excuse me. I have this green is 733 and we're going to open this up and put this little it's very early in the morning. It's not very, it's 7:30. So it starts with a 12 with two 12 wrap bullion knots. And I've been practicing these. I've been working on these. And I saw a video recently. I think it was Sharon Vaughan, where she showed that she gets to this point and pulls it down and then she messes with it a little bit to make sure that it stays. Oh, look at that. I'm liking it. Now another one that's 12 wraps. I will try to find that video and link it because I can't describe what I don't really remember what she did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I do know that you have to, when I wrap, they go up and then I have to pull them down and make them all even here before I pull the needle through. And then I get to this point and pull down. I'll see that it got like that. It gets tighter on the bottom. You know what? I was been using a different thread. I was using a pearl cotton. I wonder if I have a pearl cotton. Let's just try. I think this one needs to be a little bit shorter and 10 wraps. It could be that my needle's too big for my thread. Let's just try this again. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I want to make sure they're not looser at the top or, the bottom down there. And then hold it here, pull through, and then pull down. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's nice. All right. Okay, the head has wraps. There are eight wraps in the middle and 6 wraps on the outside. And then the legs are little 8 and 10 wrap. I think I might do this off camera because I don't want my film to get too long. And you don't need to watch me fumble around with bullion knots. And why do I have shadows like that? I don't get it. I just figured out what the problem is with the shadows. It's morning and there's sunshine coming in. So they tell you in the book what color to use, and I didn't use 523 for the body. This is 347. I used something else. This is 3 strands of DMC threads, and I do love a book that tells you the colors that they used in DMC threads, because you can get other threads and use other threads, but it's nice to know what threads they're using. By the way, this is a milliner's needle, and those are 1 wrap French knots. they, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know if I like the little eyes. I can redo them later if I want. I think they're kind of cute, a little bit wonky like that. All right, I have one little arm to finish up here. This is also a milliner's needle. Milliner's needle is necessary for knots. Before I go on and do those other bullion knots, I'm going to do the little, I almost said paws. Yeah, they're not paws. They're little toes, I guess. The little toes. I think after this I might have to wait until the sun travels in the sky a little bit. But I might do a little bit more. See that thread pulled through there? Where did it pull through? There we go. Yeah. Oh my gosh, isn't he cute? One of my friends on Facebook asked if I would show photos. I would post photos on Facebook of all the pages of this book. And I'm not going to do that until I'm done, but I will post them also just for Shirley. There, you can take a picture there. You can take a picture there. Get a picture there. And get a picture there. And I hope I paused long enough for you to get photos. My plan is at the end to do some stitch companion guides. That's what Nora said I should call them. Where I'll tell you what stitches I used, and then I can put a link to the video where I did each seam treatment. Does that make sense? Of course it doesn't. These are so much easier to do when they're right in front of my face. And my stupid drapes won't pull all the way closed. No, 8. The front legs have 8. All right. Oh, this is so cute. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this off camera and I'll come back for you to get you can get a shot of it. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. Okay, I'll be back. All right, there's still light there, but I wanted to show you this. I have 2 strands of this DMC thread, and I'm going to do one little wrap and then put the needle back in almost where it came out, and then tighten it up. Pull through. Oh my gosh. Isn't he the cutest? Isn't he just the cutest little thing? All right. Okay. So I decided I would do this little piece. I marked out where it's gonna show from the front, and I want to gonna put this lace there along the seam, and then I want to do a scroll stitch. So have not done this except on, well, I did it on a doodle cloth, but I have not used it in anything before. So here we go. I think I want them rather close together. I have a number 3 pearl cotton. I'm going to go right over top of that stitch. I can. And I'm going to go back this way, wrap the thread, pull through. Oh, isn't that nice? I drew this on there with charcoal pencil, and then I thought, uh-oh, I don't, I don't know. I've never done that before, so I don't know if it's going to come out. So let's just hope it does. Okay, so far so good. We have a beautiful morning here today. It's 67 degrees, about 9:30. Lovely morning. I think it's only going to get to like 82. Yesterday it said it was going to get up to 88 today, but now it's saying it's only going to be 82. So that makes me happy. And I was filming earlier today, and Mitzi stayed in the bedroom. I don't know why. And this morning we have bird song and we have children across the driveway. They're inside their house, but I can hear them. Okay, I think what I want to do is go down. Let's go into this seam and come back out there. Is that going to work? I think so. This might end up looking a little amateurish, but I don't care. I believe that if you have really pretty threads, doesn't really matter. Your stitches are imperfect. It's still going to be okay. And I might look at it in 10 years and go, oh, look, I was still learning. And I am. I'm still doing lots and lots of bullion knots. They're tricky. Someone commented, by the way, thank you all for your lovely comments. This community is just the best ever. Someone made a comment about how the knots were difficult or something. I don't remember what the comment was exactly, but I just said, yeah, you just have to practice. Practice, practice, practice. I'll have to go back and look and see what this is supposed to look like. I think I should have done it a little bit closer together. And I think also if it was if the stitches were more uniform, it might look better. But no dot grid for this one. Oops. I think I don't know which way to pull. Do I pull down this way and make that knot? I might have to go back and watch some YouTube videos. Okay. So because there's a car now outside my window, that is my cue to, I'm going to sew this down and take a picture. That'll be my video. There's the Mitzi paw. I don't know if I showed you the thread. This is the Eleganza pearl number 3, and the color is AZM 26. This one is an Aurifil. This is a number 12. It's 1100. This is like a pearl number 8, but it's thinner. And I love this color, so I bought a big, huge spool. My neighbors are just arriving, so I took this little thing, I folded over the the ribbon part, and then I cut part of the ends of the ribbon, and I want to sew it down right there. And I want to leave those stitches so you can still see them, but I want to stitch it down with some pink so that I can see that. Let's get a pin. Let's see. I was going to do this off camera, and I decided to do something fancy. Probably don't need more than one pin. Yeah, you know what? I just need one pin. Okay. So I think I'm just going to do an overcast stitch. I think I'm going to go between each one of those pearls. And before I move away from this edge, I want to try to tack down. See, I put could put glue on it so it wouldn't fray. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through the glue. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. There we go, a little tiny stitch. So I'm going to take my stitches up really close to the seam there, and then down on the other side of, that's just like a string of pearls, so they're connected. I'm just going to go like I'm tacking down the pearls. Oh, I think it's going to be kind of pretty. I have birdsong this morning. rather lovely. So I know this week I've been hearing back east there, they have winter storms. And like, what? It's so odd to me that we have, it was very hot all this week. Too hot to do much of anything. You know what I mean? And now it got a little bit cool again, which is kind of nice. Okay. I think if I do this all on camera, it might make my video too long. And I'm really liking these pearls. And I don't like that the lace is kind of like, probably should have ironed it. But if I just hold it with my hands while I'm sewing, it might be enough to sort of straighten it out. Oh. All right, I'll finish this up and come back. Isn't she so pretty sitting up there? She looks really regal. Okay, I'll just show it to you this way. First, we'll zoom in. Oh, look at how cute. And there's our little froggy. Now when I close the book, let's zoom you back out again. When I have the book closed, it's going to be a little bit wonky. Here, let me just. It's going to be a little bit wonky. You're going to see this, and it's kind of at an angle. Maybe this. I'll mess around with it again some more, but oh, I love this. Okay. So that's my video for today. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, please hit the hype button. It helps me a lot. Thanks. Bye.